Before the birth of Hazrat Maolana Mubashir sahib, his about 8 siblings, they passed away in infancy. When the time of Hazrat Maolana Mubashir sahib came, then Hazrat Ghulam Hasan sahib saw a dream in which he was told that this time this baby will survive, and there was a hint that his life should be devoted for the service of Islam. And by the grace of God, this dream came true, and this child survived. After his initial education, Hazrat Ghulam Hasan sahib, he took his son to Qadian for admitting into the Madrasa Ahmadiyya.
आपने सिर्फ 5 जमातें पढ़ी हैं सियालकोट में, तो उसके बाद नाना जी ने आपको कादियान भिजवा दिया वक्फ करके। छोटा सा बच्चा, और इतने अरसे के बाद वो बच्चा पैदा हुआ। नाना जान को उनके साथ मोहब्बत भी बहुत थी। वो कादियान उनको छोड़ने गए तो फरते जज्बात से रो पड़ते थे, बार बार जाते थे, बार बार वापस आते थे, और उनकी मोहब्बत का ये हालत थी कि उनसे खड़ा नहीं हुआ जा रहा था। जब बार बार उन्होंने इस तरह किया तो फिर मौलाना नज़ीर अहमद मुबशिर साहिब ने अपने वालिद को कहा कि अब्बा जी आप वापस चले जाइए, मुझे खुदा के हाथ पे छोड़ दें। खैर फिर अल्लाह ताला के फजल हुआ, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आपने जामिया में पढ़ा, तो आपने देखा कि उनसे एक सीनियर तालिब इल्म हैं जिनके पास किताबों का ख़र्चा नहीं था और वो गरीब थे। आपने अपने वालिद को ख़त लिखा कि इस तरह एक यहाँ पे एक तालिब इल्म है जिनके पास अखराजात नहीं हैं, तो आप यूँ करें कि आप मुझे पैसे भिजवाएं ताकि मैं उनके लिए किताबें ख़रीद लूँ। वो इस साल इस्तेमाल कर लेंगे, जब फिर वो इस्तेमाल कर चुकेंगे तो उसके बाद अगले साल मैं इस्तेमाल कर लूँगा।
That's right from the childhood. Hazrat Maolana sahib, he has no interest in worldly matters. When his father left him there, then he went to the local sweet shop where he has an account, and told him that whenever, this is my son, whenever he comes to you, whatever he wants, whenever he wants, just give him. At the end of the month, I will come and I will pay you. And that was the tradition at that time. I mean, this kind of liberty, youth normally actually exploit this thing, and they use this thing. But Maolana Nazir sahib, he never went to that shop, he never bought anything. So this was his character. He passed his Maulid Fazil exam. After that, he became Murabbi, and then after a few years, he was sent to Ghana. That was his first appointment over there. And he served there for about, in total, 23 years, in 3 stages. The first one was the longest one, when he spent about 11 years there. He went there, he established some jamaats over there, he trained people. And then after that, the second phase came. He came back, then he went back in 1949. From 1949 till 1954, he again served in Ghana. Then for about 1 year, he came back in 1954, and then in 1955, he went back. Then he spent his life there till 1961. After that, he came back to Pakistan. And in Pakistan, he held offices first of Naib Wakil Tabshir. Then he was given the responsibility of as a Nazim Darul Qaza. Then in 1982, he was given the responsibility of Wakil Talim. He was member of Fatawa Committee and Majlis-e-Kar Partada as well. After his retirement, he served as a Naib Sadr Tariq-e-Jadid. Before I tell you what happened in Ghana, I will start right from the beginning at how he was chosen. After passing his exam, there was actually no money. Jamaat has no financial resources that they can send their missionaries abroad or anywhere at that time. And so he has to work with his father. So he started to help his father on the farms. And once his Nana Jan was ill and he was admitted in hospital. And Maolana Nazir Mubashir sahib was looking after him there in Daska, city Daska. He was reading Al-Fazl. He saw advertisement which was given by Hazrat Maolana Nazir Ali sahib that we need a volunteer who can serve in Ghana, and his job description will be that he would train people, local people, how to preach and train them how to become a murabbi. And but Jamaat will give them a nominal living expenses because the Jamaat has no resources. He read this one and instantly he wrote back to Hazrat Maolana Nazir Ali sahib that I offer my services unconditional. Hazrat Maolana Nazir Ali sahib was very happy. He took this letter to Hazrat Khalifa Sani. Khalifa Sani, when he listened this thing and he said this thing, yes, took him. The people who put conditions, they don't work. And he wrote over there a book in Arabic. Its name was Al-Qawlul Sari Fil Fi Zuhurul Mahdi. That was in Arabic, which addressed all these issues. This book actually has been after that published, and it was very popular in Arab countries. One incident happened that our new, freshly prepared Murabbiyan, 20 of them were arrested by a chief paramount. And Hazrat Maolana Nazir Ali sahib sent Hazrat Maolana Nazir Mubashir sahib to go and ask him that why this chief has arrested these people. He took two local translators because by then his English was not that high and he was reluctant to speak. He took two translators and he went to the chief, and first he introduced himself and then he told about the teaching of Islam. Then he inquired that what is the crime these 20 people have committed that you have arrested them. He said that, look, they are illiterate people. They have no right to preach. And Maolana Nazir Mubashir sahib asked him that, sir, can you tell me one thing? What did you think? Who is more clever, farmers or fishermen? He said, farmers. He said, if the followers of Hazrat Messiah, they were fishermen, they had right to preach, then how come these people cannot preach? He was a Christian person, he understood this thing, then he said, okay, and then he released them. His routine was this, that he used to do Jamaat's work during the day, and in the evening he started trade. The trade he started like this, that he wrote letter to his father, that because he was from Pakistan, from Sialkot, which is very famous for the sports goods, and he asked him that if you can arrange to send some sports goods to here, then I will sell here and will make some money. He sent a consignment, and luckily he met a Syrian trader who bought his import, and he started to sell. So in this way they started to earn money, and by the grace of God, it was the great. There was so much profit that he didn't have any need to get any money from even from his father or from Jamaat. Not only this thing, he collected money that when there was the time that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II, he sent Maulana Nazir Ali Sahib to Sierra Leone. And at that time, again, there was no money. So Hazrat Maulana Nazir Mubashir Sahib, he paid out of his pocket all the expenses for Hazrat Maulana Nazir Ali Sahib's journey, and the other, I think at that time they asked for a surety as well. So he gave the money. Along with this trade, he wrote a letter to an agency in Lahore, which is called, his name was Amrit Dhara Agency, and he imported some medicines so he can give, because there was no medicine available for our own people. So he started to give for common ailments. So in this way, he was doing khidmat khalq. There was one more incident that when Hazrat Maulana Nazir Ali Sahib was about to depart for Sierra Leone, and Hazrat Maulana Nazir Mubashir Sahib, he was naturally a bit worried that because he was working along with him, and he said that, look, you are leaving me alone here, and my language is not up to that standard, especially in English, that I can manage all these things, and I am a bit worried. And Maulana Nazir Ali Sahib said that, look, Maulana Sahib, the stick of Moses, that was a non-living thing. God made use of that. And you are a scholar. God will definitely make use of your services, so don't worry. Then he was satisfied.
Absolutely. I will narrate you one incident when he was a missionary in Ghana. In 1939, a young man returned from Saudi Arabia to Ghana. He had gone there for some education. When he came back, he was the leader of the non-Ahmadis, and they started to incite the people against the Ahmadis. And they used to say that if the promised Messiah or Mahdi has come, then we need a sign about that. My father invited the man to have a munazara or debate, and they declined to have a debate. They said they just wanted a sign. And for them, the most important sign was an earthquake. They said that will be the sign of Mahdi. So my father went back to Salpon, which was the headquarters, and he distributed various pamphlets regarding the signs of the coming of the promised Messiah and Mahdi. And then they arranged for a general meeting to discuss those signs and about the coming of the promised Messiah. But just before they were going to have the meeting, an earthquake hit Ghana at that time, and then during the whole night there were several tremors. So by the grace of God, that was a big sign. So the next day, the people who were non-Muslims, they told the non-Ahmadis that you were demanding a sign, so you've seen a sign. So by the grace of Allah, after that, a lot of people converted to Ahmadiyyat.
By the grace of God, he has very close relationship with God right from his youth. When he passed his, when he did his exam, and after that there was some time that they were waiting. He was waiting for results. That was the final exam of Mauli Fazl, which was quite a tough exam. And he was at that time touring the different majalis of district Sialkot, and he was leading a prayer, a Zuhr prayer, in Pasrur, in city Pasrur, and in the sajda, he heard this voice, Nazir Ahmad pass. Not only him, the same voice was heard, one of the congregant, Hazrat Maolana, Hazrat Muhammad Hussain Sahib. And within those days, actually, his father saw the same kind of dream when he saw a tablet on which with golden ink it was inscribed Nazir Ahmad pass. And by the grace of God, he passed. In Ghana, from our local school, the teachers of our local school, they came to Maolana sahib, and they asked him to address scholarly people who were holding offices, and those majority of them were English. Hazrat Maolana sahib was reluctant to address, because he said that I can talk face to face, I can talk in villages, but speaking in front of scholarly people who are quite educated, my English is not up to that standard. But they were insisting. They said, okay, give me 1 week, let me pray to God, and then I will give you answer. He prayed to God. He continuously prayed to God for 1 week. Then his heart got satisfaction. That yes. Then after that he decided that yes, I will speak. On that day, he went. The topic of the speech was, which religion is universal, Christianity or Islam? He started with the name of Allah, and then he said that when I started, after that I don't know where the words were coming from. It seemed to me as I am speaking my own language. He delivered his speech. After that, there was a question answer session. So many people asked questions. He satisfied all of them. One question was very interesting. One priest asked him that majority of your references were from Bible. Why haven't you quoted any of your Quran reference? And Hazrat Mahmud said, actually, Quran has given me this authority to use Bible and Torah. This address was so popular that it was the hot topic of the town in that week. The following Sunday, in the church congregation, the assistant priest told to their members that you called yourself Christian, but in previous Friday, Maolana Nazir Mubashir has proved that Islam is the universal religion and the Christianity is only for the son of Israelite. Then actually he saw some dreams where God told him in advance. One dream was very interesting. That was about the defeat of Germany and Hitler especially. During Second World War, he saw a dream. He saw in dream that there are two bulls. One is quite heavy and powerful, and the other is a bit skinnier than the other one. And they are in a marsh place. And he said that in dreams he felt that he should pick the one bull. He put his hand under the belly of a bull, a stronger one, and he lifted it. When he lifted it up, he shrank in the form of a mouse. Then, from his heart, he was told that this is the Hitler. He did the same thing. He picked the other bull, and he again converted shrank into mouse. And then again he felt that this is a Mussolini. The next day he told his dream to Ahmadi people, and he said that I think that the Hitler and Mussolini will be defeated, and the same thing happened. In one of his dreams, he saw Hazrat Rasulullah Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He saw that there is a kind of it looks as if it's a day of judgment. And Hazrat Rasulullah is facing towards west. And behind him, Hazrat Masih Maud is standing. And then after that, Hazrat Maulana Nazir Ahmad sahib is standing. He said that Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah was addressing. And then suddenly he looked behind and he said 3 times by pointing towards Hazrat Masih Maud that this is my promised Messiah, this is my promised Messiah, this is my promised Messiah.
پھر 1-2 اور باتیں بھی یاد ہیں وہ کتنا ان کو نماز کا جو ہوتا تھا وہ اتنا زیادہ ہوتا تھا کہ ایک دفعہ نہیں بلکہ دونوں دفعہ ہی آپریشنز ہوئے ان کے. ایک دفعہ سرگودا میں ہوا پروسٹیٹ کا. جو ہی ہوش آئی تو پہلا مطالبہ یہ تھا کہ نماز کا مجھے بتاؤ وقت کیا ہے, مجھے تیمم کے لیے کوئی مٹی لا کے دے دو بیڈ کے اوپر ہی, اور تیمم کیا اور پھر نماز ادا کی. وفات سے تقریباً 1.5-2 سال پہلے ان کا ہرنیا کا بڑا کمپلیکیٹڈ آپریشن ہوا تھا. صاحبزادہ مرزا مبشر احمد صاحب نے وہ آپریشن کیا تھا, اور پہلے دعا کے لیے حضور کو بھی خلیفۃ المسیح رابع رحمہ اللہ کو بھی لکھا اور پھر آپریشن کیا. خاصا پیچیدہ تھا. لیکن وہ جب ICU میں ان کو ہوش آئی تو سب سے پہلے میں نے جبار صاحب مرحوم کو کہا کہ انہوں نے سب سے پہلے مطالبہ کرنا ہے کہ میں نے نماز پڑھنی ہے تو مجھے تیمم. اور وہی ہوا, جب ہوش آئی ہے تھوڑی سی تو انہوں نے وہی مٹی کا جو میں نے پہلے وہاں پہ رکھ دی ہوئی تھی اس سے تیمم کی اور نماز پڑھی.
کہ ایک دفعہ اپنے گھر میں تھے اور پلنگ پر لیٹے ہوئے تھے, اور اس کے پلنگ کے ساتھ ہی کھڑکی تھی. تو لیٹے ہوئے تھے تو لیٹے لیٹے ان کے دل میں خیال آیا کہ یا اللہ میں بڑے عرصے سے تیری عبادت کر رہا ہوں اور نفل بھی پڑھتا ہوں, اور جب سے میں نمازیں پڑھنی شروع کی ہیں میں نے کوئی ایک تہجد بھی نہیں چھوڑا, تو مجھے اپنے آپ کو دکھا تو صحیح تو ہے کیسا. فرماتے ہیں کہ جو ہی میں نے یہ کہا تو ایک روشنی کا بہت بڑا بہت سا گولا کھڑکی میں سے اندر آیا, ایسا کہ میں اس کی برداشت نہ کر سکتا, اور اسی وقت بے ہوش ہو گیا اور آدھے گھنٹے تک بے ہوش رہے. اور کہتے ہیں کہ جب یوں ہی مجھے ہوش آئی تو میں نے کہا کہ یا اللہ بس. تو گویا یہ اسی طرح کا واقعہ ہے کہ جس طرح حضرت موسیٰ علیہ السلام نے اللہ تعالیٰ سے کہا تھا کہ یا اللہ میں تمہیں دیکھنا چاہتا ہوں, اور اللہ تعالیٰ نے کہا کہ تو دیکھ تو نہیں سکتا, ہاں اگر تیرا اصرار ہے تو اس پہاڑ کی طرف دیکھ, میں اس پر تجلی کروں گا. اور جب حضرت موسیٰ علیہ السلام نے پہاڑ کی طرف دیکھا اور اللہ تعالیٰ نے اس پر تجلی فرمائی تو آپ بے ہوش ہو کر گر پڑے. تو یہ گویا اسی طرح کا واقعہ ہے. میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ اس میں نبی کریم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی اس حدیث کی بھی تفسیر ہے جس میں آپ نے فرمایا کہ علماء امتی کا انبیاء بنی اسرائیل. وہ آپ کے ساتھ یہ واقعہ اسی طرح پیش آیا جس طرح اللہ تعالیٰ کا, جس طرح حضرت موسیٰ علیہ السلام کے ساتھ اللہ تعالیٰ کا واقعہ پیش آیا تھا.
He served under 3 Khulafas, Khalifa Sani, Khalifa Salis and Khalifa Rabi. When he was chosen for Ghana, at that time he met Khalifa Sani, and Khalifa Sani gave him advice, and on that occasion Khalifa Sani gave him the title of Mubashir. Before that his name was Maolana Nazir Ahmad Sialkoti, and from that day his name was Maolana Nazir Mubashir, and he proved Mubashir to be a Mubashir for Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Hazrat Khalifa Sani was so happy with his work that in one of his Friday sermon he mentioned about this. I will quote first if you allow me. मौलवी नज़ीर मुबशर सियालकोटी आजकल गोल्ड कोस्ट में काम कर रहे हैं. यहाँ गो जमातें पहले से कायम हैं, मगर वो अकेले कई हज़ार की जमात को संभाले हुए हैं. फिर इनकी कुर्बानी इस लिहाज से भी खसूसियत रखती है कि वो ऑनररी तौर पर काम कर रहे हैं, जमात इनकी कोई मदद नहीं करती. वो भी 7-8 साल से अपने अजीज़ों और रिश्तेदारों से जुदा हैं. That in Africa, in Ghana especially, there was no concept of minarets, or they used to have a mosque, but they don't know how to build minarets. Hazrat Maulana Nazir Sahib, they showed him by making a mirror with clay, how to make it. And then they made the mirrors over there. And Hazur was very happy on this occasion. He mentioned this thing with these words, that वो कौमें जिनकी तादाद हमसे कहीं ज़्यादा है, इन्हें ये सआदत हासिल नहीं, और मौलवी नज़ीर मुबशर को इस इमारत की बुनियादी ईंट बनने की सआदत हासिल हुई. It means that those nations who were far more greater in number than us, they could not achieve this thing which alone Maulana Nazir Mubashir has achieved, which was, he was actually referring towards the minarets and the built.
अल्लाह के अलावा डरते नहीं थे वो. इस मसले में एक बड़े जगह पे बहादुरी से उन्होंने मुकाबले किए हैं. और एक और बात जो इसी ज़माने में है तो वो घरेलू, कि वालिद साहब का झगड़ा हो गया एक हिंदू से लेन देन पे. वो बाग कोई बेचे तो उसमें तनाज़ा हो गया. हिंदू ने साफ इनकार कर दिया, मैंने फ़ैसला यहाँ से नहीं करवाना. वो काजी मार साहब, मार ग़ुलाम हसन मेरे दादा का नाम था, कि ग़ुलाम हसन जब आपका बेटा मदरसा अहमदिया में जो पढ़ता है कादियान से वो आएगा तो जो वो फ़ैसला करेगा मैं वो मानूंगा. हमारे वालिद साहब भी जब आए तो उन्होंने जब सुना तो अपने बाप के ख़िलाफ़ फ़ैसला दे दिया, क्योंकि हिसाब किताब का फ़ैसला था. जब देखा तो बाप के ख़िलाफ़ फ़ैसला दे दिया. वालिद साहब ने जब ये फ़ैसला दे दिया तो ज़ाहिर है एक उनको थोड़ा सा ये भी हुआ कि मुझे शायद झूठा कर दिया इसमें लेन देन के मामले में. तो मेरे दादा जो है ना वो नाराज़ हो गए. नाराज़ हो के तो तीसरी मंजिल पे चले गए और सख्त नाराज़. मेरे बेटे ने मुझे कहीं का नहीं छोड़ा कि मेरे ख़िलाफ़ फ़ैसला दे दिया. तो जो और बुज़ुर्ग थे ख़ानदान के, उन्होंने आके कहा कि मार साहब आपको तो फ़ख्र से चलना चाहिए गलियों में. वाह सब ये बातें हो रही हैं कि वाह मार ग़ुलाम हसन का बेटा देखो कितना इंसाफ पसंद है, उसने परवाह नहीं की, हक़ में फ़ैसला दिया है और अपने बाप के ख़िलाफ़ फ़ैसला दे दिया. जब ये बात तो उनके जहन में आई तो फिर दादा को वाकई इस बात का एहसास हुआ. फिर आके तो वालिद साहब भी डर के मारे जाके तो मस्जिद में कहीं सो गए हुए थे. वहाँ से फिर जाके बेटे को प्यार से बुला के लेके आए. कहने लगे नज़ीर अहमदा तो मेरा सिर ऊँचा कर देता है.
आपका लिबास बहुत ही सादा था और हमेशा ही सादा रहा. एक ही किस्म का लिबास पहनते थे. मुझे एक दफ़ा उन्होंने बताया कि मैं जब दूसरा दौर खाना में मुकम्मल करके पाकिस्तान गया तो लोगों ने कहा कि मौलवी साहब आप तो जिस तरह गए थे उसी तरह वापस आ गया. तो कहने लगे मैं खुद बदलने गया था, ये लोगों को बदलाने गया था.
He was fond of gardening, and he actually took some seeds from Pakistan of vegetables, and he started to grow there for his own vegetables like okra and all these things. He was working in the mosque garden, and he was wearing simple clothes. I think he was wearing just vest and a long short. A priest came. He was looking. He came and he asked him that I have heard about Maolana Nazir Mubashir, who is a Murabbi here. Can I see him? And Maolana Nazir Mubashir said, yes, I am Nazir Mubashir. And he was actually shocked. He mumbled these words, oh, great. This person who is a statue of humbleness, am I really worthy to have a debate with him? And he went out. Mamujan tried to stop him. He called him, but he didn't stop. He went out. Because our house was very close to Masjid Aqsa in Rabwa. And he came there. After that, he was going to a meeting, and my father told him that Maulana Sahib, you stay here, and because you have to go, why will you go back and then come again? You stay here, spend this time, and after that, because you have to go to the other meeting. So that was the time between about 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 4 o'clock. And my sister, she turned on cooler, desert cooler we have for cooling, just like air conditioning system. And he said, no, I'm not going to sleep here. You want me that I should forget God? my sister and sister said, please, Mamujan, you stay, sleep here. And then he slept. But after about 20 minutes, he woke up. And he was literally, he said, Astaghfirullah Rabbi, Astaghfirullah Rabbi. No, I'm not sleeping here. Okay, then we switched off the dance cooler. Then when he woke up, then that was about the Asr prayer time. And my father told my sister that fill the buckets so your mamu can take a bath. She filled 2 buckets in the bathroom and said, Mamujan, you can have a bath. When Mamujan took bath, and she realized that Mamujan has used only 1 bucket. And she asked, Mamujan, you have used only 1 bucket. And he said to her, this much water is enough for a buffalo. And you want me to use all this water? Then he told her that Hazrat Sallallahu even advised to a washerman that don't use the water, only use the water whatever is required. And
by a stream.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting thing is that when he was child, he was nursed by many women because he was allergic to his own mother's milk. So due to that thing, he has so many foster mothers and certainly foster sisters. Whenever he would go back to Sialkot, he made sure that he visited them, and he always took gifts for them, and he always treated them as his real sisters. So this was his attitude with other relatives was the same.
जी, वो ज़िंदगी में उनकी जो ज़्यादा वक्त था वो तो हमारे बगैर गुज़रा, क्योंकि मैं तो काफ़ी देर बाद पैदा हुआ. कुछ यादें जो ख़ुद उन्होंने बताई और कुछ जो मुझे याद हैं वो बचपन से ही शुरू होती हैं. जब एक बच्चा छोटा होता है तो उस वक़्त उसकी जो छोटी छोटी यादें होती हैं, मसरूफ़ियत उनकी बहुत होती थी, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी जब भी वो बाहर दौरे से आते थे, जमाती दौरों से, मेरे लिए चॉकलेट, वो खिलौने ला के देना, वो मुझे बहुत अच्छी तरह से याद है. प्यार का उनका ये तल्लक. फिर वो भी मुझे याद है जब वो उंगली पकड़ के मुझे मस्जिद में लेके जाया करते थे. मैं छोटा सा था, जाके करता तो मैं वहाँ नासमझी में शरारतें था, लेकिन वो तमाम ये छोटी छोटी शरारतें जो हैं बाज़ का वो काम कर रहे होते थे दफ्तर में, तो उस वक़्त भी मैं शरारतें करके थोड़ा सा उनको जाके तंग ही किया करता था काम में मुखिल होके. तो वो सारी ये छोटी छोटी शरारतें जो हैं वो मेरी नज़रअंदाज कर देते थे. सालगिरह पे हमारे तो ये नहीं है रवाज कि हम सालगिरह मनाएं, लेकिन एक बात थी, जब भी मेरी वो बर्थडे होती थी तो कहते थे ये पैसे लो, जाओ और किसी सदक़े की मद में नादार तलबा वगैरह को में वो वहाँ पे जाकर तो अपनी पढ़ाई के लिए जमा करा दो. मेरी वालदा का बीवी होने के नाते से जो उनका सलूक था वो इंतहाई एक एग्जाम्पलरी था, मिसाली था कि एक घर उनका ये होता है कि जो मैंने पहले भी बताया कि पूरी तनख्वाह ला के तो वालदा को दे देते थे कि ये घर तुमने चलाना है, तुमने जैसे चलाना है. और इतना एतमाद होता था और होता था कि वो अपनी जेब में पैसे भी नहीं रखा करते थे, कभी ज़रूरत हो तो फिर दोबारा वालदा से ही मांगा करते थे. उन्होंने पूरा जो है उनके ऊपर जो है एतमाद जो है सारी ज़िंदगी रहा. हर ज़िंदगी का जो है फ़ैसला मशवरे से किया करते थे, क्या करना है, घर कैसे बनाना है. थोड़ी आमदन में दोनों मियाँ बीवी ने आपस में मिलके तो बड़ा अच्छा जो है एक इज़्ज़त के साथ जो है वो हमारा जो है घर का जो है ना सारा वो चलता रहा. कभी भी वालदा का इतना ख्याल रखा करते थे. बहुत कम आमदनी में भी वो कोशिश करते. जब घाना में थे तो एक दो दफ़ा बड़ा कीमती सा वो वालदा के लिए तोहफ़ा ले आए, जो था कोई एक सूट था. तो वालदा ने कहा क्यों इतना कीमती ले आए? कहते मेरा दिल करता था, क्योंकि आज वहाँ पे सफारत खाने में एक तकरीब थी तो वहाँ पे मैंने ये देखा था कि ये एक वहाँ पे एक बीबी थी, शायद उनकी होगी सफ़ीर की, तो उन्होंने पहना हुआ था. तो मैंने कहा कि क्यों ना मैं वो, यानी इतना वो ख्याल रखते थे कि वो इतना कीमती तोहफ़ा भी उनके लिए ले आते थे, चाहे वो एक महदूद आमदनी जो थी वो उनकी होती थी. वालदा के निकाह मेरे वालिद साहब का 1928 में हुआ. اس وقت والدہ کی عمر بڑی چھوٹی تھی, 12 سال سے کم تھی. تو یہ تھا کہ رخصتانہ کچھ سال بعد میں کریں گے. اسی دوران میں ان کو جانا پڑ گیا زندگی وقف کر کے. جب گھانا جانا پڑ گیا تو خیال تھا کہ گھانا جائیں گے 2-3 سال میں آ جائیں گے تو رخصتانہ جو ہے وہ ہو جائے گا. وہاں پہ جا کے حالات خراب ہو گئے. 2nd ورلڈ وار ہو گئی. جب جنگ عظیم کے دوران 11 سال نہ جماعت کے پاس پیسے تھے کہ ان کو واپس بھجوا سکے, نہ حالات تھے, نہ سفری حالات اس قسم کے تھے. تو تقریباً 11 سال جو ہے وہ ان کا وہ جو دورانیہ تھا وہ وہاں پہ گزرا. اس طرح تقریباً نکاح کے 19 سال کے قریب جو ہے بعد میں میرے والد اور والدہ کا جو ہے نا وہ شادی ہوئی. نکاح کے بعد رخصتانہ جو ہوا, اور جب ہوا تھا وہ دیکھ لیں والدہ 12 سال سے کم تھیں, ایک سے قریب تھیں, اور والد صاحب بھی اس وقت بہت جوان. اور جب شادی ہوئی ہے تو میرے والد صاحب کے بھی بال جو تھے اس میں چاندی آ چکی تھی, اور والدہ کے بھی چاندی آ چکی تھی. 1947 میں پھر جو ہے وہ ان کی رخصتانہ ہوا. تو یہ ایک بہت بڑا ایک وقفہ سا تھا جو اس کے درمیان ہوا نکاح کے اور رخصتانہ میں. اسی مثال ہے, جب بھائی کا داخلہ ہوا تو بہت تھوڑے ابا جی کی تنخواہ بہت کم تھی, تو والد صاحب پریشان بھی تھے کہ میڈیکل میں خرچہ بہت ہوتا ہے. تو قرضہ ہنسنا جماعت کا ہمارا خدا کا فضل ہے بڑا اچھا نظام ہے, وہاں سے قرضہ ہنسنا 50 روپے مل گیا, کچھ اسکالرشپ مل گیا. باقی والد صاحب مجھے یاد ہے رات کو بیٹھے ہوئے والدہ کو کہہ رہے تھے کہ 50 روپے کم ہے, وہ کس طرح ہوں گے. تو والدہ نے کہا وہ فکر نہ کریں, وہ میں اپنے جو آپ تنخواہ دیتے میں اس سے کسی طرح سے کاٹ کے آپ کو دوں گی ضرور. چنانچہ والدہ نے وہ بھی مجھے یاد ہے مرغیاں بڑھا لیں, ان کے انڈے جو تھے وہ فروخت کر لیا کرتی تھیں. دودھ زیادہ آتا تھا, وہ دودھ بھی تھوڑا سا کم کر لیا. شاید وہ اپنی قربانی دی ہوگی, اپنے جو استعمال کرتی تھی, مجھے تو ملتا رہا تھا. تو یہ مجھے یاد ہے کہ وہ وقت جو ہے نا بڑے طریقے سے میری والدہ نے جو ہے وہ اس کو ظاہر. پھر انہوں نے وہاں کھانا کی مشکلات شروع میں تھیں, بعد میں تو خیر حالات پھر آہستہ آہستہ ٹھیک ہوتے رہے, لیکن وہاں بھی انہوں نے جو ہے وہ والد کا جو ہے ہر مشکل جو ہے گھڑی میں وہ ساتھ دیا.
This thing was recognized not only by the family but by the Jamaat as well, and they have this feeling and in mind that this young person, he left for the service of Islam, and he has not completed his Rukstana has not been done so far. On the occasion of his marriage ceremony, when Rukstana was going to happen, that was Asrana, and I will quote one a statement from that address. ایسے طالع مند اور خوش بخت نوجوانوں میں سے ہمارے ایک نوجوان مجاہد مکرم حضرت مولانا نذیر مبشر سیالکوٹی ہیں, جو مسلسل 11 سال افریقہ میں مجاہدانہ خدمات اور سرفروشانہ تبلیغ اسلام کا فریضہ ادا کرنے کے بعد حال ہی میں واپس تشریف لائے ہیں. اب جبکہ نوجوانی کا بہترین زمانہ خدا تعالیٰ کی راہ میں گزار کر لوٹے ہیں تو داڑھی میں سفید بال آ چکے ہیں. عنقریب رخصانہ کی وہ تقریب منعقد ہونے والی ہے جو محض علائے کلمت اللہ کی خاطر 11 سال سے ملتوی چلی آ رہی تھی. احباب دعا فرمائیں کہ خدا تعالیٰ اس مخلص نوجوان کی اس بہترین قربانی کو خاص طور پر شرف قبولیت عطا فرمائے اور اس جوڑے پر اپنی برکات نازل فرمائے. Whenever I saw him, you will see people, if they are sitting, then they will sit silently. His silence was this: Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin. Mustafa pe tera durud salamat. This was his silence. But whenever he is silent, he was not silent, he was saying Durood Sharif or Astaghfirullah Rabbi. So this was his habit. He was gardening, he was fond of gardening. He used to do gardening in his lawn, and he is saying the same thing. He is talking to us, and suddenly there is a pause, and he started to say Durood Sharif.
As in 1997, on the 23rd of February, after having lived such an inspirational life, full of dedication and sacrifice for the service of Islam and Ahmadiyyat, Hazrat Maolana sahib departed from this temporary abode and returned back to his true creator.